this quality transparent liquid soap using just few ingredients, no caustic soda and no sulfonic acid. I use just two foaming agents, one surfactant, foam booster, perfume, color, and preservative. And you can see it turned out really good and beautiful. And this soap is serving two purposes. It's used as hand wash and also as a dishwashing soap. Watch this video to the end to learn how to make the soap. Now, if you're interested, let's get down to business. Hello friend, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. In this video today, I'll show you how to make a high foaming dishwashing liquid soap using just few ingredients without caustic soda and sulfonic acid. The first ingredient I have here is SLS rice, also known as sodium lauryl sulfate. Sodium lauryl sulfate. And for the sodium lauryl sulfate, we'll be using 350 grams. 350 grams of sodium lauryl sulfate, SLS rice. And then the next thing you need is 15 liters of water. 15 liters of water. Now all you have to do is to pour the SLS rice into the water, and you're going to stir it until it's properly dissolved. Now here is one thing you should always make sure to do when making liquid soap. If you have your soakable ingredients, always stir properly to dissolve before leaving it to settle. If you pour it into the water without giving it a good stir to dissolve properly, it will take a longer time to dissolve, and sometimes it might settle at the down part of your bowl. So please always make sure to stir for a while to properly dissolve and then leave it to settle. So for the SLS rice, I'll give it a good stir, and as you can see, the SLS is properly dissolved. So I'll just give it some few minutes to settle. It's going to take about 10 minutes or 15 minutes to settle until the water is clear and translucent. Then I can move on with the production. And after 18 minutes, this is what I have. Now you can see the water is looking very clear and very translucent. And this is how you can make transparent dishwashing liquid soap. Always make sure to leave your solutions to settle completely until the water is properly settled and clear. Then you can move on with your production. Always remember that. It helps to make your product very clear and transparent. And for the second ingredient, we need texapon, SLES, sodium lauryl sulfate. Sodium lauryl sulfate is different from SLS, sodium lauryl sulfate. Sodium lauryl sulfate is SLS rice, while sodium lauryl sulfate is texapon. And after measuring out your texapon, the next thing you need is sodium sulfate or sodium chloride. Now this is sodium chloride, and sodium chloride is the same as a normal table salt, which is our edible salt, and edible salt is the one we use in cooking. So the salt we use when cooking is called sodium chloride, while the salt we use mostly to produce liquid soap is called sodium sulfate or industrial salt. And so many times I get these questions a lot. You guys ask me why I don't use salt in my liquid soap. Sodium sulfate is the same as salt, and sodium chloride is also the same as salt. And we also have industrial salt, but I prefer using sodium sulfate because it helps the product to come out very clear and transparent. So after that, here comes the major production. So all you have to do is to transfer the texapon into your mixing bowl. Now earlier on, I measured out 250 grams of texapon, but I want the soap very foamy. So I'm going to add extra 50 grams to make it 300 grams. So you can either use 250 grams or you can use 300 grams. Now using 300 grams helps the viscosity, which is the thickness, and also it helps you to make it very foamy and more effective. So please take note. And in this production, we're using just few ingredients. So it's very important that the few ingredients you're using, you increase it enough to give it more quality. So after that, go on and add your sodium sulfate. Now, if you're wondering why I always combine my texapon with sodium sulfate or sodium chloride before adding water, the reason is because this is SLES 70% and it takes time to dissolve in water. So this is to say that using your salt or your sodium sulfate helps to dissolve the texapon easily. And like I told you earlier, SLES is the same as texapon, and this SLES is the one with 70%. So it is very hard to dissolve in water. It takes hours. So to dissolve it easily, it's best to use your sodium chloride or sodium sulfate, or you can use your sulfonic acid to dissolve it easily. And after mixing well to dissolve the texapon, go on and start adding your water, and the water is your SLS solution. Now remember, earlier on we dissolved our SLS in our water, and that is the SLS solution. So you're going to add the water gradually into your texapon, which is a texapon you dissolved earlier with your salt or your sodium chloride. So you're going to add it bit by bit to properly combine it. And after that, you can go on and add all the water. Please just follow exactly what you're seeing in the video. Let me give you a little tip or secret of how to learn online. After watching this video, try and jot some things down, especially all the ingredients. And after getting all the requirements or all the ingredients, when you're ready to produce, during your production, make sure to play the video alongside, as it helps you a lot to follow everything accordingly to avoid any mistakes. It is very important and very helpful. Now moving on, go on and stir properly, and as you're adding the water, make sure you add it bit by bit, just as you're seeing it in the video. Please make sure you follow everything just the way you're seeing it in the video. Now you can see I started by adding the water bit by bit, and then I stir, and when I'm sure that the texapon and the sodium sulfate is properly dissolved, then I can go on and add all the water. So please pay attention to the video. So this is after dissolving the sodium sulfate and the texapon, and at this point I'll go on and add all the water, and then I'll stir it for about 5 to 7 minutes. Remember, after adding all the water, make sure to stir it for at least 5 to 7 minutes, and after that you can then move on to start adding the remaining ingredients. So just as I've seen it in the video, make sure to stir gently and also be very consistent. And now moving on, after stirring this for a while, when the sodium sulfate is properly dissolved, go on and add your foam booster. And for the foam booster, you can use any good foam booster of your choice. I'm using cocoa betan. You can use either cocoa betan or cocoa amide or any good foam booster of your choice. And for the cocoa betan, I'll be using 150 ml. So go on and add the cocoa betan and then give it a good mix, and you're also going to stir for another 5 minutes before adding the next ingredient. Now just in case you're wondering why I did not use caustic soda and sulfonic acid in this production, I'm making this for a client who runs a restaurant business, and she used this as a hand wash and also as a dishwashing soap. So this is to say that this soap is serving two purposes. It's serving as a hand wash and also as a dishwashing soap. Now considering that the very first day this client contacted me, she clearly stated that it will serve two purposes. It will serve as a hand wash and also as a dishwashing soap. So adding caustic soda and sulfonic acid can make the soap a little strong or a bit harsh as hand wash. So reason I always make the soap for her without caustic soda and sulfonic acid. Now let's just say the soap is customized. So now moving on, the next thing you need is citric acid, and for the citric acid I'll be using 15 grams. Please make sure to add exactly 15 grams, don't add too much of it, and then after that mix properly. So after adding the citric acid, go on and stir it for at least 3 minutes. Now please take note, when making liquid soap it's very important to mix properly. Mixing is the major part of soap making. It's very important that you always mix it properly as it helps the outcome of your soap. And now moving on, after mixing properly, the next thing I did is to check the pH of the soap after adding the citric acid, and this is to make sure that the soap is not acidic, as we did not use any caustic soda in this production. Adding too much citric acid can affect the pH of the soap. So please make sure to use exactly 15 grams, and also make sure that the water is exactly 15 liters. Now this is the consistency of the soap. The consistency is moderate, not too thick and not too light. But if you want to increase the consistency, you can increase the quantity of your texapon. And now moving on, the next thing you need is preservative. And for the preservative, you can use any good preservative of your choice. I'm using methyl paraben. And for the preservative, we're using 15 grams because we're making 15 liters of liquid soap. Now you have to dissolve it with water if you're using powder preservative. And for the water, make sure the water is from the same measurement from your 15 liters. So out of the 15 liters of water, you're going to remove the one you're going to need to dissolve your preservative and also to dissolve your color. So I removed 300 ml of water, and I'm using 270 ml to dissolve my preservative, and then I'll use the remaining 30 ml to dissolve my color. And after that, the next thing you need is glycerin, and for the glycerin I'll be using 100 ml. Now this is serving as a humectant that can help to protect your hand from any chemical reaction like dryness. So add the glycerin, and after that go on and mix it properly. Please always remember to add glycerin. Is an essential ingredient in your liquid soap. It is very important. And after adding the glycerin, go on and give it a good mix. Make sure to mix properly. Mixing is one of the major parts of soap making. It's very important. So after that, go on and add your fragrance. You can use any flavor of your choice. You can use any good fragrance of your choice. Now you can either pour it direct, or you can use a bowl or a cup to fetch a little amount of the soap, combine it with your fragrance, and then pour it inside the soap to mix properly. Now to get a unique fragrance, I like pairing two different flavors. It makes it very unique. So you're going to add the fragrance, mix properly, and the next thing you need is color. And for the color, I also love pairing two different colors. Now I'm making this soap yellow color, and to get a very beautiful yellow color, pairing lemon and yellow can help the color to pop really well. So I add a little bit of lemon color, and then I'll go on and add yellow color, and this will actually help to make the color come out very beautiful and pop really well, because majority of times the color we get from the market doesn't actually give you pure yellow color. So pairing it with lemon can help the color or the yellow color to pop really well. So now you can see the outcome of the color. It turned out really beautiful. If you want lemon color, all you have to do is to combine yellow and green, and it's going to give you a beautiful lemon color. So you can see the end result of the color. It turned out really beautiful, and I love it. So that is how to get your unique yellow color. So now all you have to do is to cover the soap, leave it for at least 24 to 48 hours to settle completely. And after 24 hours, this is the end result of the product. It turned out really beautiful, and I love the yellow color. So you can see it's actually very clear. You can see the translucent color. The color itself is top notch, and I love it. And the most amazing part of this formula is that it can serve two purposes. It can serve as a hand wash and also as a dishwashing soap. It's really very perfect to use, very safe and cost effective. So now I'll go on and transfer it into a packaging bottle just to show you how beautiful this soap is. Now you can see it inside the cup. It's actually looking very beautiful inside that cup. Now about the consistency, if you want the soap to come out very thick, all you have to do is to increase your texapon to either 600 grams or to 900 grams. It's going to help the consistency, because texapon is a surfactant that can help to improve the consistency of your soap. So you can increase the texapon. So now let me try this in a packaging bottle just to show you how beautiful the soap turned out. Even looking at it from the bucket is looking very beautiful and very transparent. So you can see pouring it inside the packaging bottle is looking very clear and beautiful. Now just take a look at the soap. It's very beautiful and perfect. So like I said, I made this soap for a client, and I'm going to actually pour it into a gallon. I'm not packaging it with bottle. So I'll just pour it in a gallon. Honestly, this formula is very easy and also very perfect, especially for those who runs restaurant business. It can serve as a hand wash, and also you can use it perfectly for dishwashing. So you can see how beautiful it turned out. It's looking very perfect and beautiful. And also using this formula will help to maximize profit. So it's really very good. So that's it. You can see the outcome. It turned out really good and perfect, and also it foams really well. Now if you notice, most restaurant shop like adding extra water to their liquid soap, and this help to make the liquid soap to last longer. Now what they do is to add 50% of water, or to combine 50% of soap and 50% of water. So this is exactly what I'm trying to show you in the video, and to also show you that this soap sorts really well. It forms really well. So combining 50% of water and 50% of the liquid soap, and then I'll go on and combine it together, then show you how well this soap sorts. I think the reason they add water is to prevent the soap from running out easily, and also being that most customers do not know how to use liquid soap, they can actually pour all the soap in one use. So that's it. And now let me show you how well this soap sorts. It has a high foaming effect, which is very good for both personal use and also for commercial purpose. So now you can see just a little drop. You can see how well this soap forms. It forms really well. So that's it. Now I've done my part. Now your own part is to make sure that you watch my videos to the very end, as it helps YouTube algorithm to push my videos to the right audience, and this is very important to me, and this also motivates me to do more, which is to put out more quality content. So thank you so much for watching, and I love you. So friend, that's the end of this video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're just joining me for the first time, my name is Gifty, and I'm super excited to welcome you here. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel, and also turn on your notification bell so that you'll be the first to watch my next video. And at the end of this video, please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, leave your comments down below, and do not also forget to share this video with your friends. To my beautiful, wonderful, and amazing giftings, I love you guys so much. Thank you for always being here. I'm super grateful, and I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being a part of gifting. And yes, you guys, we hit 30k subscribers, and I'm super grateful. Thank you so much. And also my online training is still on. If you're interested, you can send a DM on WhatsApp to register. So you guys, I'll see you in my next video, but before then, stay blessed and keep loving one another. Bye friend.